What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Jon Roberts. Hey, man, I've just been sitting here looking at the weigh-ins and everything like that, and I'm just trying to give my prediction for the Ggg Canelo fight. To me, it's pretty simple. I mean, when you get past all the politics and all the posturing, all the computer, all the drama, you know, you look at it, this is Canelo's to lose. I mean, Canelo's the better boxer. He has a higher IQ, I believe, even though, you know, Ggg had a very good amateur career. I mean, he just doesn't have, I don't think Ggg has the tools to adapt. I mean, he has to rely upon Canelo getting tired. I don't think he beats him straight up. I think a Canelo counters the counterer. What I mean by that is we already know what direction Ggg is going to go. He's going to go forward. He can't fight off his back foot, but he's going to be expecting you to fight off an angle. So they probably been still working on trying to cut off the ring and trying to, you know, probably try to do a little bit of mental warfare, calling Canelo a runner and all this stuff. I really don't care about the whole Mexican style thing or anything like that. I don't get caught up in that because I know when Canelo's going to get to the fight, he's going to end up just countering the counter. And I think he should do a little bit more of that Wing Chun style. You know, if you guys don't know that, I mean, it's more about feeling the counter rather than anticipating the counter, because I do know is able to teach that defensively. And so instead of anticipating the counter, feel it out. You know, you can stay in the pocket with Ggg. He's not going to be able to hurt you too much. I mean, especially, you know, on that, if you were doing a cycle, and I'm not saying that Canelo was, a big misconception is that he's going to be weaker this fight. That's not necessarily the case. A lot of times when guys get off a cycle, they have permanent changes in bone density, muscle fiber, thickness. They can end up splitting their fast twitch muscle fibers, and they actually can have either a quarter to 15% more fast twitch muscle fibers, which could be a harder shot. And he could end up being lighter in weight. So you don't necessarily believe that he could be weaker. We don't know what he was taking. We don't know what that clenbuterol was masking. Forgive me. Looking at some of the other advantages, I mean, it's just, I think a lot of times with Abel Sanchez, you know, especially in all the build-up leading to this fight, Ggg, this is the most vocal I've ever heard of him being, and especially on the negative side of it. I mean, it felt like they were looking for every little thing to complain about. And to me, when you start to do that in the camp, you're not really focused on the victory outcome. You're focused on maybe, you know, having the excuse ready in case you lose. I mean, because Ggg is getting up there. Can't really remember where I heard it from. It could have been Boxing Eagle 7-8 or Fanon. I can't really remember what video it was, but I think he's, you know, Ggg's been at 160 his entire career. That's got to be taxing on the body. You know, to be up in your mid 30s, upper 30s, and you've only been one weight. And yeah, you could say, well, he kept himself in phenomenal shape, but nah, man, that's a consistent cut down. He's never been able to go up. He's always been a 160 pounder. Yeah, that's going to take a toll on you after a while. So you look at Canelo's, you know, he was at the Canelo weight, which is what, 155. You know, he was a 154 pounder. I think he might have dabbled a little bit at welterweight, if I'm not mistaken. Now he's at 160, so he's actually gone as his body's grown. You know, much to the dismay or to the pleasure of his fans, he really has grown. He's gone up as his body couldn't handle it. You know, I think Ggg has been forcing himself at 160 because he realized that the ceiling was 168 after that Andre Ward challenge. I think that's when you started to see him quiet up a little bit and watch who he was challenging. And so I think they became really particular, you know, after that time. I mean, I saw the Daniel Jacobs, and you know, if you combine that Andre Ward challenge with the Daniel Jacobs fight, I think they knew the limits of their fighter after a while. They stopped touting that boogeyman stuff. I think they did see Canelo as an even squared fight. I didn't see it as that. You know, maybe Canelo did get a little bit too muscle bound this last fight, and the oxygen, you know, that it was needed to supply his muscles with was just too high. And I think that's probably why he gassed out towards the end of that fight. If his endurance comes up, and it's not a genetic thing, you're going to probably see him, and I believe you're going to see a knockout. Probably, I think he stops Ggg by the 9th, 10th round at the latest. Because if I was Canelo, I would come out on the attack. There's really no need to wait and feel out beyond half of the first round. Ggg has not shown any type of versatility throughout his entire career. I mean, he's a great fighter, but it is what it is. It's a square block, you know. It's six-sided if you know your three dimensions. You know, it doesn't really have anything, you know, there's no icing on the cake. It's just cake. You know, once you realize it's just cake, it might be, you know, they might slap some icing on it, but it's not really done uniformly. You know, it's just that cheap ass cake you take to the potluck. You know, they tell you that it's banging, but once you realize that it's coming out of a box and ain't nobody made that shit homemade, you can know what to do with it. You see what I'm saying? Throw a little ice cream on that fucker and eat it. You know, nothing. I think afterwards, after Canelo wins this fight, you know, you already seen the boxing politics start to lean that way, especially with people talking to Errol Spence about a possible Canelo fight in Dallas. Oscar De La Hoya talking about it as well. They're trying to, you know, they already got some big money matchups, but I don't even think if Canelo does win this fight, I really don't think he's going to take that fight. I don't think he'll take the Errol Spence fight at all. I think he'll do what Canelo normally does, to take, you know, 2 tune-ups, maybe some bullshit fighters, just to get his money right. And then once the fans start talking about he's hijacked the middleweight title, you know, I think that's when he'll take the fight with Errol Spence, or maybe the winner of what's his face, of what is his name? Damn it. Sorry about that. Of Billy Joe, whatever his name is, up in England, and Demetrius Andrade. That's who I think he'll end up taking the fight. Forgive me, guys. Had a long day today at work. But hey, I will be posting more videos. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe video button. Sorry about that. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. I got another one coming up about Eddie Hearn. I'm about to tear into him.